Gacha gamers, ready to risk it all? Whether you're here to simp for pixel-perfect waifus, chase meta-breaking husbandos, or just drown in glorious gacha salt, this is your ultimate countdown. We're ranking 32 must-play gacha games, from hidden gems you've never heard of to the undisputed gods of the genre. Strap in, hit that notification bell, and let's find out which game owned your wallet this year. Let's get started.
Take a break.
Number 32, the sugary underdog. Cookie Run's mix of RPG chaos, tower defense, and dessert-themed trauma is still weirdly addictive. Never thought I'd cry over a croissant's backstory. Other gacha games could learn a thing or two from Cookie Run Kingdom. It captures the whimsy of playing as different types of cookies pretty well, and it gives you so much to do that you'll never really be wondering why you should log in that day. Aside from its story stages, Cookie Run Kingdom has a player versus player arena, as well as a guild that you can contribute to and fight bosses in for rewards. It's not all about battling though. You have an entire kingdom that you can expand and decorate with a plethora of dessert-based furniture and buildings. Some of the furniture costs gems that you use for pulling for cookies, but not to worry. The game is so generous with pulling currency and resources that you won't feel bad about spending a few to beautify your kingdom. Number 31, the Meme King returns. Raids ads haunt your nightmares, but its polished grind still hooks millions. Pro tip, never trust a YouTuber's sponsor segment. You've probably heard of this game if you watch Twitch streams or YouTube videos since it's often a sponsor. Calling itself a freemium RPG mobile game, Raid Shadow Legends has you battle against mythical characters. There are over 100 playable characters to choose from, all in the mythic, magic, fantasy realm. You can play the base game entirely free, but there are limits on what you can access without paying. In-app purchases will unlock characters, items, and other features for you to continue your gameplay. It can also be difficult to progress without either being extremely patient or paying to make things quicker.
Easy, everyone. If I can hit it.
Well, thank you.
We attack together. On 3.
Number 30 is a love letter to retro JRPG fans. Time travel, cats, and Yasunori Mitsuda's music? Perfection. Aside from having one of the greatest subtitles in gaming history, Another Eden is a classic sci-fi RPG with cute and well-thought-out graphics. The game is story-heavy, following you as a time traveler with your pet cat, a unique concept to say the least. It's written by Masato Kato, the writer behind Chrono Trigger, so you may enjoy this game's story if you enjoy Chrono Triggers. You can travel between the past, present, and future, encountering different NPCs and enemies based on the time period. The only truly gacha aspect of Another Eden is in-app purchases for gaining new characters. If you're satisfied playing with the default characters, however, you can play it 100% free without issue. Number 29, Guardian Tales. This gem's a must-play for Zelda fans with gacha addiction. An action RPG, Guardian Tales mixes puzzle solving and strategic combat together to make their gameplay. There are options for player versus player battles, complete with rankings, giving it a competitive edge and a sense of community that other gacha games may lack. The overall story is light and fun with comical characters and situations. The graphics are done in an anime style, centered around knights in the city of Canterbury, an obvious nod to The Knight's Tale in the Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer. There will be times when you'll be tempted to use your precious gems just to get through particularly difficult stages, but if you're patient, Guardian Tales can be a fun part of your day. Number 28. For Trekkies who love spreadsheets. Build fleets, fight Borg, and pretend you're Captain Picard, if Picard microtransacted his way through the Delta Quadrant. Star Trek has had numerous games, both in and out of the gacha realm, and typically knows exactly how to reach its target audience. Fleet Command isn't pitched as a gacha game, but rather as a 4X, explore, expand, exploit, and exterminate, but it checks a lot of the boxes to be classified as one. Made by Scopely, the same company behind Marvel Strike Force, you collect character shards through randomized pulls and completing tasks. Since the game is an MMORPG, keeping up in your alliance is a must, so unless you plan to grind a significant amount of your day, you're going to end up sinking some real cash into Fleet Command. Number 27. Blue Archive. Imagine anime high school simulator meets tactical combat. Adorable students, wild story twists, and enough era energy to power a nuclear reactor. Blue Archive is the complete opposite of Limbus Company in terms of the setting, having a fun cast of characters and filled with funny story sequences. The game is about cute girls fighting monsters with guns. What is there to dislike for a gacha gamer? The game features a real-time strategy system where the player can control 3 characters, cute girls, as they shoot down enemies in a linear path. Fortunately, the combat system does have some depth and a satisfying game loop, even though it sounds pretty basic.
Mission accomplished. Good work, Marines.
Number 26. Nick's here to prove that plot and plot can coexist. Dodge bullets, simp for android girls, and ask yourself, why am I blushing at a grenade launcher? Goddess of Victory. Nick is a very popular sci-fi RPG shooter in the gacha space with a very dedicated community. The game has a very explicit nature, but at its core, it is still a great gacha game to play. The story is decently good, with Nick being an artificially created female fighter to defeat the robots that have taken over their world. It might sound simplistic, but the storytelling is really good in Nick, especially the music that pairs with it. Now, coming to the meat of the gameplay loop is basically waifus shooting at robots. However, the impact frames of the gameplay loop are extremely satisfying, and the game is very easy to understand but too hard to master.
Make some noise!
Let's push them around a little bit.
Out of harm's way, fleeting as it may be. You must persevere. Be out.
Oh, great!
The Garden of Shangri-La! No pain or despair!
Great refills are all wrong!
Number 25. Solo leveling fans, rejoice. This game lets you live the hype, grind like Sung Jinwoo, evolve your shadows, and flex on bosses. Just don't forget to sleep. The game's story is completely faithful to the original material, following the story of Sung Ji-woo chapter by chapter. Solo Leveling Arise has stunning graphics and beautiful action combat, with voice-acted manhwa panels used as cutscenes. My colleague has already done an in-depth review on Solo Leveling Arise, so make sure to read it to learn more about the game. Touching on the gacha mechanics, the game can be a bit grindy and doesn't have the most friendly gacha systems, but the gameplay does make up for it.
I'll end this! It's over! Time for a counterattack. I need a break. I'll shred you!
Number 24 is for the edgy collectors. Recruit criminals to fight crime in this gothic thriller. Who needs heroes when villains have better drip? Path to Nowhere is a hidden gem in the gacha gaming space, which has released fairly recently, in October 2022. This game is a perfect combination of Limbus Company's grim setting and Arknights' fun tower defense gameplay loop. The game design and characters are very stylized, which I personally love about the game. Path to Nowhere is basically a tower defense gacha game, with a fairly complex combat system that is easy to learn. The main story and lore are also very well done and are quite dark, which might not be to everyone's liking. The English voice acting is also spot on and perfectly fits the stylized art style of the game. The gacha system is quite average, not too punishing or rewarding, and it is very much possible to be a F2P player in this game. Another important thing to note is that this game is only available on mobile devices, which is a bummer for PC players.
My turn. Does it hurt? Does it hurt? It hurts.
Number 23. Brown Dust 2 is nostalgia on steroids. Classic JRPG vibes, strategic turn-based combat, and characters so pretty, you'll forget their pixels. Brown Dust 2 is a game straight out of an old-style JRPG, featuring stunning world design and very sexually explicit characters. This game is the only 17+ rated gacha game on this list, and it truly deserves it because the fan service is out of the chart. But ignoring the fan service, the game has a gorgeous world design, like old-style JRPGs. Octopath Traveler fans will instantly get what I am talking about after having one look at the game's world. The main storytelling is decent, the exploration is quite good, and the game features well-executed voice acting alongside stunning visuals. Brown Dust 2 has a turn-based combat system, where characters attack in specific grids, making their placements very important. The combat is fairly in-depth and fun to play. The gacha system is also fairly less exploitative, featuring a good reward system and a higher chance of dropping SSR characters.
Worth it for your damage dealer to swoop in and capitalize on the positioning. Fights are often not allowed to drag on, but also giving you more gold. You don't have to do all three every day, only one is enough to complete dailies. There is a PvP mode, and I know again, this is going to be a very hit or miss for some people. Essentially, you set up an attack and defense configuration and battle with other players' defenses. There are some special rules and the meta is quite different versus
Number 22, Punishing Grey Raven, is Bayonetta meets Nier Automata. Dodge, slash, and simp for androids in a world where style is substance. Punishing Grey Raven features one of the best combat systems in gacha gaming, and it acted as the base for the recently released game Wuthering Waves from the same developer. The game features a highly impactful and responsive combat system that is incredibly fun and satisfying to play. I cannot express enough how fun the combat system is, while also being fairly simple to understand, but hard to master. Sadly, the main storyline of the game is nothing to brag about and doesn't hold up to many of the lower-ranked games on this list. Still, you cannot ask for better animation cutscenes and combat than offered by Punishing Grey Raven. The gacha system is also fairly standard, and players can complete most content in the game while being F2P.
生死に分けるのは一瞬よ。歯応えないわ。手加減、無駄な抵抗はやめなさい。生死を分けるのは一瞬よ。
Number 21. Limbus Company is for the I love getting psychologically damaged crowd. Disturbing, artsy, and utterly addictive. Don't play this one at 3 a.m. The main story of Limbus Company has a grim setting, which is beautifully showcased in the game's visual design. The developer of Limbus Company, Project Moon, has developed 2 other games prior to this, and all 3 games share the same universe, making the lore quite in-depth and rewarding. The gacha system is also very simple and free-to-play friendly, almost as if they wanted to create a gacha game, but didn't know how. So, they created a single-player game with gacha mechanics. The leveling system is very simple, not following the same route as other gacha games that require 100 different items to level up one character. Overall, a very solid gacha game that you should definitely check out.
현타의 결과야.
전투에 임하겠습니다.
Number 20. Set sail with the Straw Hats. Treasure Cruise's retro charm and endless One Piece fan service make it a must for Nakama worldwide. If you've ever wanted to collect every One Piece character, Treasure Cruise is the Grand Line gacha trip you've been looking for. This one's a ride. It's been out since forever, and somehow it's still going strong, dropping new units like Oda drops lore bombs consistently and with maximum hype. Whether you're chasing Gear 5 Luffy, a busted Legends unit, or that one oddly specific version of Sanji in a suit, this game has you covered with a roster that's insanely stacked. Number 19. Fire Emblem's mobile spin-off lets you recruit every hero from the series. Finally, Marth and Edelgard can fight side by side or argue about politics. A tactical RPG, the game is over 30 years old and is now available in the gacha format on mobile. As a Nintendo title, its history and branding make it an obvious choice when considering reliable and fun gaming. There are story-based quests and battles, all of which are family-friendly. The in-app purchases are mainly for enhancing characters and gaining equipment to beef up your stats fast. It's possible to play Fire Emblem heroes without spending money, as long as you're willing to grind and wait for time stats to regenerate.
It's your army, so lead them your way. As you will.
Number 18. Shin Megami Tensei's gacha spin-off is Pokemon for Goths. Collect demons, fuse them into nightmares, and fight in a world where Satan's your gym leader. A classic RPG from another gaming titan, Sega, Shin Megami Tensei Liberation DX2 is an offshoot of the canon SMT games, featuring new stories and characters. The characters you play as well as your party, are fully customizable, and there are over 100 demons to wage war against. SMT Liberation has a deep storytelling aspect carrying the game along, making it easy to sink time into it. In-app purchasing is primarily to unlock features and character options, so it is possible to play the game with little to no spending. Number 17. A love letter to FF fans. Relive iconic moments, recruit Cloud and Squall, and cry when your 10 pull gives you another goblin. A classic RPG from the Final Fantasy series, the mobile battles are simple in style for easy play. There's strategy-based gameplay and player versus player battles, along with open-world elements. You can explore hidden paths and dungeons during the main story or side quests. Brave Exvius does a solid job of capturing the overall world of Final Fantasy in a smaller medium and with a story as strong as the large releases. When it comes to in-app purchases, you'll find them most enticing when trying to level up or beef up your character in player versus players. Number 16. Dragon Ball Legends is DBZ on crack. Flashy combos, iconic transformations, and player versus player that'll make you rage quit faster than Frieza blowing up Planet Vegeta. An action RPG based on the iconic anime, Dragon Ball Legends brings an original story and brand new characters to the ever-expanding world. You can also play as familiar characters from Dragon Ball if you don't want to learn about all the new people. There are non-ranked battles and PvPs against friendlies and rivals. Though you can play it completely free, there are times when in-app purchases can help you level up and get past certain battles if you're struggling on your own. The game's website even has a number of helpful things, such as a beginner guide and tips for playing, as well as a profile card generator. Number 15. Gotta catch 'em all. Again, team up with iconic trainers like Cynthia and Red, and finally settle who's the real very best. Another iconic name in gaming, Pokemon built their gacha game to make in-app purchasing entirely optional. You can play the game completely free or pay for extras or faster boosts. There are new stories available to play with Clash trainers from the previous games too. The game takes place in the region of Paseo. You work to build up your team for 3 versus 3 battles with other trainers. The motives are the typical goals of all Pokemon games. Catch 'em all and battle to be the best trainer in the world.
It's all or nothing! Come on!
What can we learn from this?
Number 14. For Star Wars fans who've always wanted Darth Vader and Baby Yoda on the same team. Grind relics, farm shards, and embrace the dark side of microtransactions. EA, Lucas, and Disney get together to give you a mobile RPG with a collectible card format that allows you to build your dream team of iconic Star Wars characters and battle them against other parties. You can participate in light side character campaigns or dark side character campaigns, depending on what side you personally choose to be on. In-app purchases are required for certain characters and some advancement in the game, but other purchases are fully optional. The amount of money you sink into Galaxy of Heroes is up to you. Number 13. Epic 7's visuals are art in motion. If you've ever wanted to watch a 10-minute anime episode mid-battle, this is your jam. You can play solo or in PvP in 3v3 Guild Wars matches in Epic 7. There's also the Raid Labyrinth that sends you on a quest to hunt down monsters to claim rewards. The animations are in 2D, and the game features art similar in style to Genshin Impact. Also like Genshin is the rich world development and the engaging storyline to keep you moving forward. While it is possible to play Epic 7 entirely free, it will take a while to gain the items you'll need to level up, so it will become increasingly easy to just buy what you need to supplement what you've yet to find during gameplay.
This is my victory.
Number 13. Epic 7's visuals are art in motion. If you've ever wanted to watch a 10-minute anime episode mid-battle, this is your jam. You can play solo or in PvP in 3v3 Guild Wars matches in Epic 7. There's also the Raid Labyrinth that sends you on a quest to hunt down monsters to claim rewards. The animations are in 2D, and the game features art similar in style to Genshin Impact. Also like Genshin is the rich world development and the engaging storyline to keep you moving forward. While it is possible to play Epic 7 entirely free, it will take a while to gain the items you'll need to level up, so it will become increasingly easy to just buy what you need to supplement what you've yet to find during gameplay.
何でもしてそう。
Number 11, Arknights, is brainy and beautiful. Deploy your waifus, outsmart enemies, and question why all the best strategists are also fashion models. A tactical RPG crossed with a tower defense game, Arknights is for mobile gamers looking for a single-player-only game. There are cute animations playing out a darker storyline of a pharmaceutical company fighting against time, and people to cure an infection spreading over the country. Unlike a lot of other games in this genre, Arknights features a full roster of useful and viable characters, so you don't have to keep feeding into the game to pull for the popular characters. This makes the game more enjoyable, but it's also purely up to you how you use your resources. Number 10, Alchemy Stars is underrated perfection. Match tiles, summon Aurorians, and lose hours to its gorgeous world. Seriously, why isn't everyone playing this? Alchemy Stars is like mixing Epic 7 and Arknights with strategy RPG and a world built with science and magic. The animation isn't as dynamic as with the other games, but the storyline is equally engaging. It also features multiplayer and competitive multiplayer modes, which make up for the visual elements. Like with Arknights, you pull for characters with the gacha system in this game who specialize in different skills. Luckily, it's easy to make a roster with any characters you pull, so this doesn't affect gameplay or enjoyment at all. Number 9. Genshin meets Project Runway. Explore lush worlds, dress Nikki in literally anything, and ask why this game makes virtual shoes feel important. Before saying anything else about Infinity Nikki, it's important to mention that this game has quite a unique taste when it comes to gacha. Essentially, you're pulling for dresses that have much higher stats than the normal ones, but you don't have to stress over it since the game gives you plenty of dresses for free. While playing, you'll be exploring a beautiful world filled with well-designed NPCs. As you jump through various platforms and use other ability outfits, you can be sure that you'll have a cozy time while playing this one.
Reach. When you're tired, hop on the whim cycle for an exhilarating ride. Meet the friendly townsfolk and participate in the fun mini-games they provide.
Number 8. Assemble your ultimate Marvel squad. Iron Man, Spider-Man, and Ravager Bruiser? Farm shards for years or swipe your way to glory. Marvel and Disney have released multiple gacha games, but Strike Force has been the most successful generally. It's a turn-based RPG with single and multiplayer options. A wide range of classic Marvel characters are available to play with and against, and the roster is constantly updating. Real-time arena play makes the game battle-based, with a less strong storyline, but it does hit on plot points from the comics and films. In-app purchases are predominantly to unlock characters and equipment, though not necessary to play. Number 7. AFK Journey is for the I'm too lazy to play games gamers. Build a team, let them auto-battle, and watch Netflix while your heroes do the work. AFK Journey came out of nowhere and became one of the most played gacha games of 2024. This was partly because of the sheer number of streamers sponsored by the game, but also because, while it might not seem like it at first glance, it actually is quite a great game. Of course, the game has the regular pop-ups enticing you into spending some cash, but it also has various mechanics to keep your gameplay fun even without it. It's also one of the few gacha games out there that you can just relax in since the battle system is completely automated, and most of the strategy goes around the characters and artifacts you use. Number 6. From the makers of Genshin comes Hoyover's coolest vibe yet. Hack, slash, and vibe to a soundtrack that'll live rent-free in your head. Zenless Zone Zero is the latest addition to the gacha gaming space and another Hoyoverse game. It features a stellar combat system, gorgeous animations, and probably the best designed characters currently in the gacha gaming space. The game is an action RPG and has different combat levels instead of an open world. The hollow exploration is the weakest part of Zenless Zone Zero, as players have to go through a series of TVs while solving puzzles, and when they do fight, they are generally very brief in the early game. However, the characters are really well designed, and I love the sibling banter between the two main protagonists. So far, the story has a light-hearted tone in the early chapters, but I can see it become much more intense with more version updates. The story is something Hoyoverse never lets down on, and Zenless Zone Zero has the best initial story execution out of all the Hoyoverse games.
Get some rest, alright.
Yes, Master.
Number 5. Reverse 1999 is Stein's Gate meets Harry Potter. Solve mysteries across eras, collect quirky mages, and question why the 90s looked this stylish. Reverse 1999 is another newly released turn-based card-based strategy gacha game. It is an absolute treat to play through. This hidden gem has gorgeous animations, well-crafted storylines and lore, top-tier character design, and extremely well-done voiceovers. The combat is fairly simple to learn, but has a good depth to it. It's a card game where the cards you pick dictate the actions your character takes in combat. Although the cards do have a tad bit of RNG, that's how card games are in general. Overall, the game is definitely worth playing because of its design and storytelling, which I found one of the best in the genre.
Leave it to me.
Alright, time to crack some code. I'll handle the tech support.
Target square confirmed.
Please cease resistance.
Decode complete. Encryption complete.
Barrage.
Number 4. The OG tearjerker. Honkai Impact 3 RD's story hits harder than a Hersher's Ultimate. Still not over, Himiko? Join the club. Honkai Impact 3 has stood the test of time and started it all for Hoyoverse, currently the most successful gacha gaming company. This game features everything you expect in a Hoyoverse game: a gorgeous world design, gorgeous and relatable characters, amazing storytelling, and a highly impactful action combat system. Honkai Impact 3 is still one of the best gacha games on the market, and new players can still it easy to get into. Also, the game is fairly free-to-play friendly, like most Hoyoverse games, and you won't regret your time spent on this old gem.
射撃開始。目標加速。ファイヤーファイヤー。
Number 3. The game that ruined phone storage worldwide. Genshin's still a masterpiece, but let's be real, we're all just here for Zhongli's voice and Hu Tao's chaos. A fun and deceptively intricate RPG with a fully plotted-out storyline, Genshin Impact has fantasy elements mixed with action-adventure in an open-world format. There are always new characters being added, as well as weapons, all of which you can earn through gambling in the event wishes, or you can purchase them outright. All purchases are entirely optional, though, and the game is playable without sinking any money into it. The co-op mode in Genshin is limited, but as a solitary game, it offers countless hours of content free of charge.
Boba, get them! Race you!
Surrender.
Then I'll be gentle.
Number 2. The dark horse of 2024. Wuthering Waves mixes Genshin's beauty with Souls-like combat. If you're not obsessed with Rover yet, you will be. Wuthering Waves took the gacha gaming space by storm, introducing incredibly well-designed combat systems that both look and feel amazing in a gacha game. The developers of Wuthering Waves, Kuro Games, also created Punishing Grey Raven, and it can be felt in the Wuthering Waves combat system. The open world of Wuthering Waves is gorgeous and exploration is an absolute treat, especially the ability to run up the walls, making climbing tall places satisfying. The characters are also well designed, and the developers actually consider and implement the feedback from the community. However, Wuthering Waves also had a horrible launch, filled with performance issues, and it still hasn't been completely fixed after more than a month of the release. The main story also needs a fair bit of work, same with the voice acting, but considering they are still in the early versions of the release, I only see the game getting better in the future. Other than that, the gacha system is very free-to-play friendly, and the game rewards new players with 2 5-star characters of their choice from the standard banner. And the number 1 gacha game, Honkai Star Rail. Turn-based perfection, Kafka's existential riz, and updates that never miss. All aboard the hype train, Trailblazers. You can dive into Honkai Star Rail whether or not you've played Genshin Impact. It takes place in a sci-fi setting, as opposed to Genshin's fantasy one, and features turn-based combat. Like in Genshin, you earn characters through either finishing missions or pulling on event wishes. There are references to both Genshin and Honkai Impact 3rd, but Star Rail has an original, ever-evolving story with its own characters, adding more every so often. You earn the currency for pulling on event wishes by completing tasks and limited-time events, so you'll always have a chance of getting something good if you save up, or do a single pull every time you have enough. Otherwise, you get enough free characters to build 2 teams. Agree? Ready to fight me in the comments? Thanks for joining us on this countdown of the top 32 must-play gacha games. Whether you're into strategy, action, or storytelling, there's something here for every gamer. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more gaming content.